Hey classmates, this is Deanna.
Hey guys, this is Brett. Welcome back to episode 46 of Hard Lessons, True Crime and Paranormal.
I think you forgot the name.
I started to say True Lessons, Hard Crimes and Paranormal.
You got it all jumbled.
I did, but it would have worked out kind of. I mean, Hard Crime, True Lessons.
Yeah.
Any hoozle. How was your week?
My week was rather good.
I would say this last week was pretty good.
Yeah. A lot of opportunities, a lot of prayers and praying. Yeah.
It's all going to work out.
Yep.
Exactly how it's meant to.
Yes.
That's
but
cool.
It was good. How about your week?
It was good also. You know, had one little mess up with my truck at work, but it was fixed within the afternoon, so didn't lose much time. So it was good.
Well, that is good.
Before we go on,
oh gosh, what?
I have been meaning to say for 2 weeks now that we have an email address. I posted it on the Facebook page. But not everybody that listens is a fan of the Facebook page or follows the Facebook page. So a lot of folks may not know yet. But we are growing up. It's not a little baby podcast anymore. And we have an email address. What is the email address, you might be asking yourself? Just stop talking and give it to us. Well, here it is. Hard Lessons, with an S at the end, tcp.23@gmail.com. So, hardlessonstcp.23@gmail.com. We've had it for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks, something like that.
Don't even remember.
And Teach set it up. I tell you what, the first person that emails us gets a prize. Teach is looking at me like,
I have some fidget spinner. No, a fidget thingy. That's all I got.
I was just going to say the prizes are enduring love and affection forever.
Oh. Okay. What if we could read something that they send us?
You know, that's a very good story. Story? That's a very good thought.
Are you sure you're ready for this?
Can we just start over?
No. So is that the stuff that we're supposed to edit out like the professionals do?
Yeah. So we don't sound so corny. But you know
I don't know that
there's not enough editing in the world.
I don't know that editing is going to help that because we would still make mistakes. And I fully believe that people should be transparent, and here we are.
That would have been a great name for a podcast, true crime podcast.
What?
Transparent.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No.
Sometimes my great ideas aren't that great.
Yes. I'm fully aware.
I was talking with Blake Mosley yesterday from South Carolina Spook Show podcast.
I need to listen to that.
It's very good. It is really good. And he sent me a picture. He was in his car. I'm guessing his wife was driving. Otherwise, Blake's a very talented guy. And he was doing mobile editing on his laptop.
Oh. Maybe he's got one of those Tesla cars or whatever car that can
drive itself?
Yeah.
Maybe so.
That would mean he was rich.
No telling what they got out there in South Carolina.
I know.
I want to go see that place someday.
We should go. He could show us all the spooky places.
Dude, Blake, you up for a road trip from us?
What if he said yes?
Said yes.
Be like, okay, we will look at the calendar.
Yeah, pencil us in. But what I was going to say, what I was going to say is now that we have a email address where y'all could send us your paranormal run-ins, your connection to true crime.
Or paranormal.
Paranormal run-ins.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
It's all right. I got you.
Okay.
Teach and I talked a long time. We've been doing this a year. We've been talking for a little bit. about maybe doing a listener's episode where you write in and tell us your story and we read it. With your permission, use your name and everything. And
Ooh, I want to do those.
And if you say, no, don't use my name, we won't use your name. But we talked about maybe doing those like once a month, maybe, if we get enough of them. And calling those segments show and tell to go along with the school theme.
Yep.
So if, I don't know, maybe you went out to eat lunch and then later that afternoon you found out that your waiter had killed his partner before coming to work that day, or you've got a ghost living in the attic of your house and you hear the chains rattling.
Now, do they really have chains?
I don't know.
I think that's a
myth.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
that myth needs to be busted.
I think it has been.
Oh. Specifically, Brett Bonke, I want to hear stories from you, buddy. So he's a good friend of ours that has gone to the St. James Hotel and did have an experience there. So we want to hear that. So anybody that listens that has anything, email us hardlessonstcp.23@gmail.com.
Yes, please do.
Please do.
Even if you write a really cool, scary story,
Dude,
we will read it out loud. You get the credit.
Absolutely, 100%. Tens of people will hear your story.
Yes. All 17 of us.
So, with that being... also this week, one of our favorite podcasts that Teach and I talk about a little bit quite often, The Box of Oddities.
I love that show.
Oh my gosh. You want to hang out with them?
If we're ever in the spot to hang out with them.
Not going to track them down like a crazy person.
No, we're not going to stalk them. But we would have to be invited to meet them. I mean,
yeah,
they're like celebrities. They're at the top, and we're like scraping to get to the ladder.
Yeah, we're stretching for the bottom rung.
Yes.
Anyway, on their Facebook page this week, I had mentioned something, and Kat Walls, co-host of the Box of Oddities, replied to it. So she may not know me, but she knows I exist. So I'm semi-famous now. Semi-famous. If Teach can be claimed to be famous for being related to the first man convicted of murder in the New Colonies, I can claim this as my celebrity status.
Yes, he was on the Mayflower. His name is on the Mayflower Compact.
You're famous.
I mean, like, how many people can literally say, I'm traced back to that? The first set.
You know who my family tree goes back to?
Lady Godiva.
Lady Godiva. Not the chocolate maker.
No. The naked lady on the horse.
Things are starting to make sense, I think.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Anyway.
Are you ready for the more you know?
I absolutely am.
All right.
I don't need any more.
This week's The More You Know comes from a location that we're going to go to in a couple of years.
Okay.
The Hoover Dam.
Oh, yes. 25th anniversary.
25th anniversary. We're heading out to Vegas. The Hoover Dam has enough concrete in it to build a 2-lane road that stretches from San Francisco, California to New York City.
I've been on it. It is humongous.
That's just mind-blowingly big to me.
And they used to have like a tourist thingy where you could go to the bottom. I'm not doing that, but like I think maybe that was in Cripple Creek where you could go ride the shaft elevator thing to the bottom. Still not going to do that. Shaft. Yeah, still not doing that either. But
well, in the movie National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation, they're touring the inside of the dam.
So see,
Chevy gets stuck outside holding on.
Yes,
classic,
ridiculous,
classic movie right there.
But anyway, you were more than.
Oh no, my claustrophobic self would wig out in the first minute.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of all other kinds of disasters happening. So.
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
I can do that better. Hang on. That's so much
Class is in session.
All right, T.
With doubts.
My gosh. I can't even ring a bell. What makes me think I can do a podcast?
Well, you've done 46 of them, so
Not yet.
get it going.
Not yet. We're not done with this one yet. All right, T. So it's a paranormal episode this week.
Okay.
If I say the word pediophobia to you, what do you feel like? Do you think you might be one of the millions of people in the world that suffers with pediophobia?
Well, the sight of feet? Is that what it is? No?
It
Pedio.
is
Pedals?
the fear of dolls.
Holy cow.
So today we're talking about dolls.
I am in favor of this whatever it is.
Pediophobia.
Pediophobia. Pediophobia of dolls.
Fear of
You're
dolls.
afraid of dolls.
Yeah.
Like the dolls like my grandma had?
Any doll, yeah. Like dolls.
Okay, because one of them does give us creepy vibes.
Bonky, we need you to come over and look at it. Annabelle.
Which was originally a Raggedy Ann doll.
Absolutely.
Now it gives me thoughts of I had a Raggedy Ann doll.
Would she come alive?
I was little, I don't know.
Robert the doll.
Yes.
Heard of him?
Yes.
Chucky.
Yes.
Tiffany Valentine.
No.
She was Chucky's wife. The bride of Chucky.
Yeah. There's a reason why I didn't watch Chucky.
Slappy.
Yes, and he the
ventriloquist from the Goosebump movie.
Okay.
Brahms. Remember him?
Is he a monkey?
No, he's a doll. The movie The Boy we watched on Netflix.
Oh. So okay.
These are some of the most famous dolls in the paranormal world.
Okay.
But we don't talk about the famous here in Hard Lessons. We talk about the not so famous.
Mm-hmm.
So, created sometime between 1900 and 1920 in either England or Germany, not sure which originated from, comes Mandy the doll.
Okay. I already want to blow her up or like just not even cover my house in the blood of Christ and like.
Mandy is currently on display. Now I have to say before I go on, I got to stop and say this. I'm going to tell you about 3 different haunted dolls today.
Okay.
None of these are from the United States. So if I mispronounce things, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay because, we don't know that language.
So now Mandy is on display in the Quesnel and District Museum, which is located, oddly enough, in Quesnel, British Columbia, Canada.
Okay.
Makes it pretty handy, the Quesnel Museum being in Quesnel.
Yeah, I mean, kind of gives you the clue.
Yes, ma'am. Gives it away right there in the title.
It does.
Right off the bat. The lady who donated Mandy, who wanted to remain anonymous, said that the doll was a gift from her grandmother. Her grandmother was getting ready to move out of her house. Mm-hmm. You looking up a photo?
I am.
Oh, I've already got them pulled up for you.
You can continue to read.
Okay.
And I can look them up on my handy dandy doodad.
That's Mandy.
Yeah, I know.
She was over at her grandmother's house helping her clean up because she was getting ready to move out of her house. It was just getting too big for her to take care of anymore. Mm-hmm. And so she was over there helping her clean up and come to this large trunk, and the grandmother told the donor, there's a doll in here, but I need you to leave her in a trunk or somewhere safe.
Okay.
At first, the donor thought, well, that's pretty sweet. My grandmother wants to protect her doll. She soon found out that is not the case.
I don't think that was the purpose.
The donor said that not long after bringing Mandy home, she started having weird feelings. The donor was awoken one night. Awaken? The, the donor, who was in her bed asleep, woke up one night to the sound of a baby crying.
Yikes.
The donor was single and had no children.
Mm.
The baby crying was coming from her basement.
From the trunk.
Mm-hmm. From a trunk in the basement, yes,
From
ma'am.
a trunk in the basement. What would it only have been that trunk?
This went on for a while until the donor got brave enough to get out of bed and go check it out. Once she got to the basement, she discovered Mandy was gone, but the basement window was open.
So did the crying stop?
When she opened the basement door and went down.
Huh.
But don't fear, Mandy returned the next morning.
Back into the basement?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody broke in, heard the baby crying, broke in, and then took it, and then realized there's something weird about this doll.
I'm taking it back.
Yeah. No? Okay.
I mean, it's plausible. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Mandy, with her pink and white cute little dress and crack going down alongside her face.
You mean the scar?
Yes. Wasn't malicious, but playful.
Aww.
The donor, not wanting to destroy any historical value Mandy had because her first thought was to set a fire to her, decided instead to donate her to the local museum.
There you go.
This was in the early 90s, and that's where Mandy is still today. After donating Mandy, the donor said she has not heard any crying baby sounds since, and she has no longer had the weird feelings she had before.
Okay, so how old was the doll to begin with?
She was created sometime between 1900 and 1920, and this was in 1991.
Okay. So it was just 70. Originally Grandma's doll?
No word on where Grandma got it. Like she got it for a gift at Christmas, or what is she? The donor never said. She just said, "I got it from my grandmother." Or in the research you
found, she didn't say.
I read 3 articles. None of them ever said.
Okay.
Where Grandma got it.
Okay.
However, at the Quesnel and District Museum, staff and visitors started feeling distress immediately. They placed her right up front by the entrance, and staff reports that their lunches started going missing, only to show up hours later in random places. Like instead of being in the fridge, they'd be hours later in one of the cabinets or just wherever.
Okay, so somebody could actually have been doing that.
That could have been a staff prank, but to do it to everybody every day, you got to be dedicated.
Well, what else do you have to do in a museum?
Touche.
I mean, everything is just there, and you're just walking and observing.
This is true. Maybe they vacuum.
I don't know, but
Books, notepads, and other items would go missing. When staff would go up to, let me start that one over. Books, notepads, and other items would go missing. When staff would ask Mandy what she did, they would show up within 10 minutes.
Oh.
I mean, she's not malicious.
No, she just wanted to play.
They moved Mandy again away from other dolls because staff reports that they would show up in the morning and other dolls in Mandy's area would be laying on the floor and Mandy would have the whole shelf to herself. This happened 3 times before they decided to move Mandy.
Oh, she wasn't behind like a display box?
She is now. She wasn't at the time.
She wasn't at the time. Oh.
Yeah. Visitors' interest in Mandy picked up after a 1999 episode of a TV show that was titled Supernatural Stories around British Columbia had featured her.
Ooh.
They had difficult times, though, getting photos of her. This was back in the days before digital camera and stuff. Brand new batteries would suddenly die. The flash would either come on or turn off randomly on its own. Mandy was like, I'm not having a good hair day. No photos today, please. Several psychic investigators visiting Mandy say she is possessed by the spirit of a young girl that is seeking attention. That is why she is mischievous and not violent.
Mm. That seems to be in the movie Annabelle as well.
Mm-hmm. Except she was violent.
Yeah.
But no, that turned out to Ed and Lorraine Warren said that she's possessed by something that was never living.
Yes.
Yeah. She's
Yes, I'm not saying anything
right,
about
no.
Mandy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was just trying to add to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to debunk you or.
No. That's not what I was thinking.
So that was Mandy the doll.
Okay.
Which I would love to go to British Columbia, Quesnel, and see her someday.
Okay.
So now we're going to jump across the ocean and go to Australia.
Okay.
Mate. Carrie Walton is the current owner of our next doll.
Okay.
Carrie was in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales for his grandmother's funeral and decided to go exploring around the neighborhood. This was in 1972.
Okay.
He found an abandoned home and decided to check it out.
Could be fun.
Could be fun. Underneath the floor, Carrie found what at first he thought was a human body.
Well, from the looks at it, I would have thought so too.
Yeah. Upon further inspection, he realized it was a doll. This doll was made of wood, had a peculiar looking face, and wearing a green suit with long hair that was in a braid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some articles call this doll a he, some other articles call it a she. The doll looks like a she to me, so that's what I'm going to call her.
But it's dressed as a boy.
I know.
I'm going to say that it's a boy.
Okay, but then I will too. Carrie decided to bring the doll home, thinking finders keepers. So when Carrie and his family had returned home to Brisbane, the doll went with them. Now the name of the doll is Letta, Letta. Letta came from when they were on the ride home. Carrie placed the doll face down in the trunk. While driving, everyone in the car started hearing knocking from the trunk and loud screams saying, "Letta me out." When his dad pulled the car over and opened the trunk, the doll was now on its back and had a frown on its face. So remember, he had laid it face down.
Yeah. Why would you even do that?
Lay the doll face down?
Yeah.
Well, because it's just a doll.
No. It's out of respect. You don't lay dolls
on their
face down. It's rude.
I'm in agreement with you. Quickly, visible signs that Letta had moved around the house. They would find scuff marks on their floors with the same design that the bottom of his shoes are. Its shoes are. Because
apparently nobody knows what
the doll is.
Orientation it is.
Yes, ma'am. Also, more than one person reports having visibly witnessed Letta move. Carrie has vowed to never get rid of Letta, although he tried once.
Tried to get rid of it, and apparently it did not work.
It did not happen. In a bind for money, Carrie had agreed to sell Letta for $400. That's not a bad profit on something you find. No. Turn around and sell it for $400. When he arrived at the buyer's home, Carrie said that he couldn't get Letta out of the car, like there was a shield around her, blocking her and keeping her in. Carrie had the doll examined and found out that Letta is over 200 years old and that her hair, where did I see that at? And their hair is made from human hair. The style of doll is Eastern Europe, possibly Romania. After being examined by a psychic, it was discovered that Letta is possessed by the restless spirit of a boy that drowned. Carrie tours around Australia with Letta, doing TV shows, different things like that, and said that every time he goes somewhere with Letta and he pulls her out, it starts to rain. So he's wondering if that's the connection to the spirit boy drowning.
Maybe so.
People report feeling sick, faint, or very sad around Letta. Animals, namely dogs, have mixed reactions. Some will run from its presence, others try to bite at Letta. Our scaredy cat dogs would run and be urinating themselves on their way.
I doubt it. I bet Mr. Emmett would bark and try to go at it.
He might. He might. Now, in a world run crazy with social media, Letta has her own pages on Facebook and Instagram that are updated frequently.
Awesome. People can go check it out then.
Absolutely. Now, for the final doll, and to me the most terrifying, we're going to Japan. Now, hold off before you look up these pictures.
Okay.
Or have you already?
No.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up these names. In 1918, in Hokkaido, Japan, lived the Suzuki family. Their youngest child, Okiku, was adored by her family. But she had health issues from birth, and that caused her to have to spend most of her time indoors. One of her older brothers, Aikichi Suzuki, had saved up his money because he wanted to buy Okiku a doll to give her company.
Aww. A sweet brother.
That's a good brother right there, isn't it?
It is.
So Akichi bought his sis a 16-inch porcelain doll wearing an embroidered kimono, closed smiling mouth, and an Akapa-style haircut, which was very popular in Japan at the time. And I looked it up, and the Akapa-style haircut is basically like a bob haircut.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and click on it.
Okay.
Doesn't look too terrifying.
No.
The doll, who Okiku would name after herself, looked amazingly real. Okiku loved her doll, would comb her hair, share meals with her, and sleep at night with her. One warm day, Okiku and Okiku the doll went outside for a walk. It was during this time that Okiku would be bitten by a mosquito.
Which Okiku?
The human Okiku.
Okay.
The girl Okiku would be bitten by a mosquito. Unfortunately, with her having her health issues, would attract malaria.
Oh.
And at the young age of 4, would pass away.
Holy cow.
Akichi, the older brother, and his family were devastated. The family did what most Japanese families would do, and they took Akiku the doll and built a shrine to their daughter in their living room.
Okay. That's just a custom.
It's just a custom. Walking through the living room one evening, Akichi noticed something strange. The hair of a kiku, normally shoulder length, was about 6 inches longer, it appeared to him.
It's growing.
Akichi showed it to the rest of the family, but they were all reluctant to say that it was longer.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't remember.
A little bit apprehensive there. Poltergeist activity soon would follow. Whispering voices were heard, objects flying around the room, lights going on and off by themselves, and then the nightmares. Nightmares of a Kiku, the daughter, standing in a dark room, screaming or being tortured.
Oh my gosh. That is a parent's overall nightmare in general.
Absolutely. One night, Mom and Dad both woke up having had the exact same torturous dream. And what was at the foot of their bed? But Okiku, the doll.
Jeez.
With what appeared to be with what looked like a tear going down her cheek.
That's a nightmare in itself.
Absolutely.
Waking up to a doll staring at you like, you was not there a few hours ago.
Exactly, and see that tear roll down her cheek. Dad then went to move Akiku and noticed that her hair was longer. It was almost down the middle of her back. So the family decided the next day to trim Akiku's hair, and the activity subsided. But
of course, my question would be is like, how's it growing?
Yeah.
Like, that's the real question.
It wasn't long before Akiku, the doll, hair grew back long, and the activity picked up again.
Nope.
So then they started a tradition of combing Akiku's hair and giving her regular haircuts to keep the activity down. How long would you say you would last with a doll with growing hair?
Not at all.
Well, this family held on to Akiku the doll for the next 20 years.
Well, they probably thought it was their daughter.
They decided to bring in the village shaman and have him look at it. I'm thinking I would have done that within 20 seconds, not 20 years.
Exactly.
The shaman told the family that the spirit of Okiku, the daughter, had passed into Okiku, the doll, when she died. He was told that the spirit wasn't at rest because the doll was not close to Okiku, the daughter's body. So the Suzuki family made the heart-wrenching decision to leave Okiku to the doll to the care of the monks, and again I apologize, at the Awanazawa Temple in Hokkaido, Japan. Okiku, the doll, hair continues to grow, but now it's not only getting longer, it's getting wider and coarser too.
Like it's getting old.
Monks sent off some of the trimmed hair of Akiku the doll for testing. What they got back was shocking, that it was human hair.
They were told that when they first got the doll.
That was Letta.
Oh.
This is Okiku, the hair growing doll.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some visitors to the temple, so yes, we could go to Japan and see Okiku,
Cool.
have reported seeing Okiku, the doll, open her mouth, revealing tiny teeth.
Nope.
Not going to go see her?
No.
That's off the bucket list?
Why in the world would you want to go see a doll with a closed mouth and then it would smile at you and bare the teeth? that dolls aren't supposed to have.
What are they going to do with teeth?
Come at you, bite you.
So
You don't know.
you don't. It could very well happen. You want to see a Kiku? Like I just said, she's on display. Again, I apologize. At the Manaji Temple in Awamazawa City, Hokkaido, Japan. But don't bring your camera. Monks no longer allow photos of a Kiku because they're afraid the photo will steal her soul away.
So do the monks have problems?
They've reported hearing things, but they said, as long as we keep her hair trimmed.
How often do they have to trim it?
Once a month. Not
You're
often.
just making that up, huh?
No, well, I did read that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really did. I didn't add it to my notes, but
okay.
about once she gets regular once a month haircut.
Okay.
Stylish barber shop tile.
I'm sure.
Those are some of the lesser known but still terrifying haunted dolls out there in the world. My bibliography for this work. What is wrong, Watson? My bibliography for this week. HorrorSociety.com. Article called "Forget Annabelle, Meet Mandy the Haunted Doll." NotWatchParanormal.com. Mandy the Haunted Doll. One of my new favorite websites. Amy'sHauntedCrypt.com. Let Me Out, one of the world's most haunted dolls. And InfamousHorror.com. Okiku, the possessed doll of Japan. I think out of the three, I'm more afraid of Okiku. And we may go back to visit dolls again someday. I may actually break trend and do a story some point in time on Robert the doll.
Okay.
Because he is pretty interesting. Have you ever heard about him?
Not a whole lot. No. Somebody Scared to Death people did a show about him.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I believe Morbid might have done an episode on him also. I'm not sure. But that is dolls, Teach.
Cool.
So this still didn't reach the divot box level of scare. There was a few times you were like,
yes, I mean, like the bear bearing the teeth. I mean, that would absolutely terrify me. Like, nope. Where's the garlic? Where's the cross? No. Mm-mm.
I'm thinking Okiku was probably the scariest. I mean, the parents waking up and her being at the foot of their bed with the tear running down her cheek and causing the whole families to have nightmares and causing them to have the same nightmare at the same time. And
now, Letty, the he-she boy doll, whatever, looks scary.
Very. Y'all go look him up.
Like, what? It's hard to tell if it's a boy or a girl, but the way it dressed.
Right, it's a boy.
It looks like what a boy would be in.
You would think. But, I mean, there we go. Gender fine.
It's a doll. Mandy looks like a little doll that was played with a little bit rough and tried to get fixed up, and it didn't work out. So, but out of all of them, a Kiku. A Kiku. So sorry.
Now we're going to get the nightmares.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Texas.
Okiku.
Okiku. Okay. Is scary. Like, there would be no way in this world that I would go near the Annabelle doll. There's no way. Nope. I don't care if 75% of the movie was all made up. Ain't going.
Ain't happening. Yeah. Now, if Okiku, if it was just the hair growing out, that'd be kind of cool to see. But you start throwing crap off the walls and stuff, we're going to have issues. Or showing me your teeth.
Yeah. See, that's why I have to sit here and stare. Show me your teeth, I'm going to know that you're real.
Show me your teeth. I'm going to poop myself.
Well, that too.
All right, Teach. Well, what is my grade for this week?
Well, I'm not
A non-believer.
paranormal. I mean, this was okay, but it's not the Divic box, so it's a B.
I earned it. I earned it.
It didn't give me the creepy doos like the Divic box. So if you can ever find something to that level, like I'm going to question and hunt verses so I can be praying in my own house. No.
All right, classmates, the challenge is on. The Teach has challenged us. Help me find something as scary as the Dybbuk box. Which, by the way, I heard this week, and this is something that I didn't know, but I heard this week that so there are 10 Dybbuk boxes that were hidden throughout the world. 8 of them have been found, so there's still 2 hidden Dybbuk boxes.
I'm thinking this is almost like a Harry Potter thing.
Quite possibly.
Like whoever's a piece of them is in each box.
That's a very good point, because in the story that I did, when they opened up the box, there was the 2 locks of hair, the penny. So maybe that is. Maybe the locks of hair is from, I don't know, just reaching.
See, and I misunderstood that. I thought a Dybbuk box was sentiments from somebody put in that box.
Yeah. Just as a reminder, a Dybbuk is the Jewish word for devil, and so the Dybbuk box is what they would trap this evil spirit in.
Yes.
So, and I believe, and I could be wrong on this part, but I believe like the locks of hair and there was a wine goblet, a penny. I think that's stuff they used to lure them in, and then they trapped them, if I remember right.
That makes more sense. Okay.
So, also, and I failed to mention this, but I did have it written down. I didn't find anything about a Kiku or Letta, but as far as Mandy, there is a movie about Mandy the Haunted Doll. So,
was it a B movie?
I don't know. And maybe it's as good as the Dybbuk box movie that we found. That was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was kind of...
There was cheesy moments.
It was a CB movie.
and you could tell it was low budget, but it was pretty good.
So it's a CB movie.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I have drawn true crime.
I got a true crime story for you next week.
It's gooey and gory, and I'm going to be freaked out and want you to check every lock in the house.
Including windows.
Yes. Because the bathroom window stays open, and it freaks me out.
Well, thanks for telling the whole 10 listeners that.
I'm just saying.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
I've seen too many weird things.
Guys, we appreciate y'all. We enjoy hanging out with y'all this week, and hope y'all have a good week. Also remember, hard lessons, tcp.23@gmail.com.
Any of that capitalized, or does that really matter?
None of it's capitalized. It's all one word. So hard lessons, TCP for True Crime Paranormal, .23, because we started in 2023 at gmail.com. So,
all right. Well, thank you.
We look forward to hearing from you guys, and get us your personal stories. Mr. David, I'm looking at you, sir. I'm thinking about you and all the years you spent with TDC. I'm sure you've got some excellent stories, maybe even some paranormal stories from TDC.
Who's David?
Used to be the warden out here before you retired.
Okay. Ooh, oh my gosh, that would be. Yeah.
So, anything that you folks have, and remember, the first person to send us an email wins our love and affection for life. All right, we'll see you next week, guys.
Class is dismissed.